What's going on, everybody? It is your boy, the Bad Diggity Dizzle, back with another New York Giants video. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so, please do me the honor. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell so you know when I go live or do a video like this. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the description. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I will follow you back. Really appreciate it. Of course, speaking about going live, I'll be live for the Lakers and Bucks later tonight, 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 3:45 in Los Angeles. That's 7:45 in the morning in the Philippines. But I appreciate y'all watching. Let's talk about little New York Giants football. And I'm sorry, guys. The video has been scarce. Really hasn't been much Giants news to report on. There really isn't much Giants news to report on here. I mean, this is minor details. The New York Giants in the 2021 draft are probably not going to be awarded any compensatory picks. We didn't really lose any big free agents, and therefore we're not going to be rewarded with any compensatory picks. It looks like the New York Giants are going to go into the 2021 draft with 6 picks. This is exactly what Dave Gettleman had his first year here. I believe he only had 6 picks. The New York Giants definitely could use more draft picks. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, we still have a lot of holes to fill, so Dave Gettleman cannot miss on this draft. He just can't. The New York Giants are going to continue to improve here year in and year out. He's going to have to nail these draft picks. Now, you may say to yourself, well, the compensatory picks really aren't a big deal. Usually the 5th round, the 7th round. Sometimes you are awarded a 3rd round pick. The Giants were awarded a 3rd round pick last season. That was number 99 overall. That ended up being Matt Parrott. A lot of guys like Matt Parrott. They're very high in Matt Parrott. And I thought Matt Parrott played very well. His future is bright. He's a little bit raw, but, you hone in his skills, and he could be a really good right tackle for years to come. He could be our future right tackle. That's somebody we got with a compensatory pick. Tate Crowder, that may not seem like a lot either. He was Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft. But, Tate Crowder came in and actually made a pretty good impact for the New York Giants. This is a guy that nobody expected to do anything. That's why they're Mr. Irrelevant. You pick last in the draft. Obviously, you're not expected to do anything. People are supposed to forget about you. And Tate Crowder came in and had some nice moments for the New York Giants in 2020, and I'm not going to say that he's going to be a superstar, but if he could come out there and fill a role and give us some depth, he certainly could contribute to the team. The big one that Dave Gettleman grabbed in 2019, a compensatory pick in the 5th round, was Darius Slayton. We all know what Darius Slayton did his rookie season. He had a massive rookie season. He tailed off a little bit last season, but we all know that if Dave Gettleman goes out there and gets a big-name free agent wide receiver, or he drafts a wide receiver and he gets a pure, legitimate number 1 receiver, that Darius Slayton obviously could have a much better season being the number 2 receiver, which is probably what he'll be. I don't think Darius Slayton will ever be a wide receiver number 1 in this league, but definitely could be a solid wide receiver number 2 if he has a solid wide receiver number 1 on the opposite side. There are definitely holes in the New York Giants that we need to fill. We definitely need a wide receiver. There's no doubt about that. We could use another tight end, which is why I'm so high on Kyle Pitts and think the Giants should go out there and sign a major free agent wide receiver and draft Kyle Pitts. I just feel like Kyle Pitts gives us a lot to do on offense. This is what Jason Garrett likes to use the tight ends in the offensive set. Obviously, we tried to use Evan Ingram. He just has failed. If the New York Giants don't want to keep Evan Ingram, they trade him away. Or they let him walk and get a compensatory pick in 2022 for letting him walk at the end of 2021. Then, obviously you've drafted his replacement. So that's why I'm so high on Kyle Pitts coming in here for the New York Giants. There's no doubt about that. But, hey, we'll see exactly what we do. We could also use another linebacker. Micah Parsons been talked about. We've talked about Devontae Smith. We don't think Devontae Smith will fall to us at 11, but Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Rashad Bateman, Jamar Chase. There's a ton of wide receivers out there. There's another good wide receiver class. So maybe the Giants can grab a wide receiver at number 11. Maybe they could take one in the 2nd round. We could also use some more offensive line depth. There's no doubt about that. We're a very young team. You're going to be losing Zeitler soon. We lost Soler last year anyway. They're probably going to cut Nate Soler. We don't know what the deal is with Will Hernandez going forward. So obviously offensive line is another big need for the New York Giants. And then, of course, to me, number 1 need for us is number 1 wide receiver. And then the number 2 need for us, to me, is a number 2 cornerback. James Bradbury balled out this year, had a great year. Julian Love did play very nice, as did Darnay Holmes. I think the secondary played very well for the New York Giants. Obviously, there was some blown coverages. I hate that soft zone. But I felt like as a whole, as a unit, they played really well. And then we got Xavier McKinney back at the end of the year. And McKinney actually had some solid minutes. So, you got McKinney, you got Jabril Peppers out there, you got Darnay Holmes, you got Julian Love, you got James Bradbury. But if you get a solid number 2 corner, a lot of people like Pat Surtain if you get a number, or Sertan, however you say his name, but if you get a number 2 corner, obviously that shores up that secondary even better, and could definitely help the lack of like pure pass rush that we had. There's another need that the New York Giants could use, and that is a pure number 1 edge rusher. We don't have that. Our pressure's been up the middle. Leonard Williams had a huge season for us. We don't know if Leonard Williams will be back, or if it's going to be Dalvin Tomlinson. I seriously doubt the Giants will sign both of them. But I think Leonard Williams has earned a contract here. I think Leonard Williams will be back here if I had to guess. I obviously don't know. But Dave Gettleman went out of his way to trade for Leonard Williams when we were a bad team, and it didn't seem like it made a lot of sense. We gave up draft picks to get him. He obviously had a career season last year, and I think he's a big part of what the Giants do. I think he's a big part of Patrick Graham's scheme. He's a big part of stopping the run, and Leonard Williams was a big part of our defense. But I think that the Giants could also use that edge rusher. I think that would make Leonard Williams even better. So there obviously are a lot of needs for the New York Giants, but with only 6 picks in the draft, not a ton of cap space, nothing to do with what the Giants have done as far as signing players, but more to do with the fact that the salary cap, which normally increases 10% every year, somewhere in that range. I think it was 198 going into 2020. So you would have expected to be about $220 million on a normal season going into 2021. Instead, it looks like it's going to drop back to $175 million, which means you've lost $23 million off your cap from 2020. And if you take the difference between losing $23 million and gaining $22 million, you're talking $45 million. So normal cap season, the Giants probably have about $90 million in cap space. Instead, they're probably going to be between 40 and 50. So it's not like we can go out there and sign everybody that we would like to do it. So without compensatory picks, without a ton of draft picks, with only 6 draft picks in this draft, unless the New York Giants decide to trade a player, maybe Evan Ingram does go on draft day. Maybe the Giants trade out of number 11. Maybe there's really nothing there that they want. Maybe they feel like they can get their guy at 19. I don't really know where Rashad Bateman is projected to go. A lot of people like Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. He's a tall receiver, 6'4". If he has a good combine, his stock will rise, as old wide receivers do. If he has a bad combine, his stock could fail. I haven't looked at mock drafts. I don't know where he's going to go yet. I'm going to start looking at some mock drafts. But say the Giants could get Rashad Bateman at number 20, and they want to trade back and get some more picks that way. That is definitely something that they could do as well. With only 6 draft picks, no compensatory picks to add on, it's going to be difficult for the New York Giants to move up in the draft and get somebody that they want. I really don't think that they can afford to do that. I wish they could. If we had an excess of draft picks, obviously you can package together some kind of deal and move up and get these guys. But, it's really all I got in this video. I don't know how interesting that was. I thought it was interesting, actually, because, again, the compensatory picks don't ever seem like a lot, but draft capital goes a long way in the draft. It goes a long way into trading up and getting some of the players you want. It also goes a long way to finding some diamonds in the rough, like a Darius Slayton. Tay Crowder's been really well, or getting a guy like Matt Parrott who could be your future right tackle. Compensatory picks are important. It's unfortunate that the New York Giants don't have any, or it's not projected that they may get one, but it doesn't seem like they're going to. They're not projected to have any compensatory picks in the 2021 draft. So we only have 6 draft picks. Dave Gettleman is going to have to make each and every one of those draft picks count if we're going to be a contending team or a winning team for the first time in 5 years. Going into 2021. So that's all I got in this video, guys. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Again, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Tune in tonight, 6:45, Lakers-Bucks. Could be a preview of the NBA Finals. Hope to see you there. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. It's Bad Diggity Dizzle. I'm out. Peace!